Am I crazy for thinking that this football season will be the breakout year or that it needs to be?
Whoa. Well, that's two big questions.
It is. It's two big questions.
2 for 1.
But am I crazy for thinking that this will be the breakout year and that it needs to be the breakout year? And when I say it needs to be, I don't want to put absolutes on there by saying, well, if they lose, then Matt Rule's a bum and he needs to be fired. No, but it does feel like, for momentum's sake, it feels like that's the case. How loaded is that?
I don't know. Like, I've thought for 5 years, John, that I cannot bear another losing season. Like, I have thought, I physically don't know or how I am going to keep doing this if they keep getting losing seasons. And it's been probably 5 years that I felt like that. And here we are again. So is this any different? I don't know.
Right. But this is coming from me. I'm usually more pessimistic, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
usually more pessimistic. But I'm not pessimistic so far. I realize, we're only in the spring, and I'm not trying to get too caught up in the whole, off-season national championship nonsense. But I don't know. I just got a feeling. And there's a lot of other things in there as well. The schedule sets up very nicely. Defense is going to be really good. They finally have a quarterback. It seems like Matt Rule is he's got that year to really establish things. I love his plan. I think his plan is really solid, right? That it feels like, and we've seen it throughout history with coaches who end up being good at their stops.
It shows itself in year 2.
It shows itself. Yeah, it usually shows itself in year 2.
And it has with Rule every time. Yes.
And it has. And so I'm kind of binding all of that together. And by the way, Matthew asks on the unsponsored YouTube comment section, define breakout year. I'm talking 9 wins.
Ooh.
Duel.
Dude, they're like a playoff contender with 9 wins. They are 12-team playoffs.
Maybe.
No,
it'll be interesting in November, Josh, for sure.
What was that, Jack?
I said it'll be interesting in November for sure. To your point.
Just given their schedule alone, they would absolutely be in the playoff conversation.
Well, they would be in the conversation, but when you say playoff contender, I'm thinking at the end of the season. No, but yeah,
again,
I guess, yeah. If they're at 9, or if they're threatening 9 wins,
that's in the mix, John.
There will not be a 9-win team in the playoff this year.
No, but I'm saying they're in the mix though. Last year, LSU was the highest ranked 9-3 team, and they were 13th. Maybe. That's in the mix.
Maybe.
See,
it's hard for me to gauge right now because we don't have divisions anymore. Everything's I really need to see it play out a year, but I'll entertain that. Sure. I do. I truly believe this. I believe that a breakout is coming this year. And a breakout to me feels like 9 wins-ish, right?
Is this something that you've been ruminating and marinating on for a while, or did something hit you recently where you're like, it's time to buy in?
It just hit me.
Yeah.
And it's not even so much buy-in. I'm bought in on Matt Rule. I think Matt Rule was an excellent hire. I know last year didn't end particularly well, but I also acknowledge that first-year growing pains are a real thing.
And also the interceptions didn't help.
Don't forget about the interceptions.
People forget about the interceptions.
Sadly.
But when you look at all of the things, and I pointed them out earlier, the defense should be good to great. They should be. Got a lot of returning productivity. Great coaching on that side of the ball.
Honestly, it's just like, can you get more sacks and can you start taking the ball away more?
Sure.
Because if you do those, it's like even if there's a drop in like traditional production, it will have made up for it with getting the ball back for your offense.
Honestly, and yes, you would like to see more of that. I mean, imagine a world where the defense actually does get more takeaways at the same time while the offense gives it away less. Then you're talking about exponential progress. I'm just talking about, on the offensive side of the ball, just being a little bit smarter, a little bit better. I do think they will be a little more conservative. I loved what I heard last week about the passing game. And, hey, this isn't about, just heave-hoeing the ball down the field. It's about finding our guys in the right spots, getting the ball to them in space, and letting them make plays.
It's exciting because if that's the case, then they have playmakers on offense again.
Sure. And maybe they can use some of that short passing games as a long handoff. I mean, think about it. When has Nebraska actually been able to use smoke screens and quick passes, the quick game effectively? It's always been an adventure. You didn't have the guys on the perimeter that could do it or do anything with the ball when they had it.
Or the design was bad.
Or the design was bad. Or the quarterback was throwing the ball behind the receiver and thus destroying the timing of the play.
I mean, honestly, we're probably talking about like the Callahan era. I mean, it's been a long time.
It has been quite some time.
Yeah.
So, and then again, I believe in Matt Rule. I like his plan. I think he's got the right coaches in place. He's getting the people together. This is not a national championship team. That's not what I'm talking about. This is not a conference championship winning team. That's not what I'm talking about.
You're talking about big time improvement.
But I'm talking about a breakthrough. I'm talking about noticeable, appreciable gains.
All right, so a couple comments. Adam texts into the show, 402-951-1620. They should win 9 games. That schedule is garbage. I doubt they do it.
Again, I am coming from a dispassionate point of view, but I do understand the negativity that can come with fans who have been drugged through the mud time and time again. I get that. And I understand the sentiment like that, which expresses but we've been down this road before and they always let us down. I understand that.
Yeah.
But this is a different road that everyone is traveling in a new age of college football. Secondly, the guy who's driving the bus,
you trust him,
is a better bus driver, or I believe is a better bus driver than what they've had.
Yeah, I would agree there. Noted Wisconsin fan Kyle says, the way people talk around here, if this season isn't 8 wins minimum, people are going to turn on Dylan Raiola. He's going to be the reason NU underperforms if they do. He will be the fall guy.
No. He will only be a fall guy if he is bad.
Yeah.
If he is bad.
I think people will look for reasons to actually take the blame away from him.
Absolutely, because they're going to want to prop him up and have him be the bright shining hope.
Yeah. And the question is,
he is the Luke Skywalker in this, right? He is our last hope. And even through his mistakes, we're going to see through those mistakes and still see the promise that is there.
Yeah. The question is,
and so, I agree with you. I think they're going to take a lot of the heat off of, unless it's really bad, they're going to take as much heat off of them as possible and apply it elsewhere.
As we've talked about, and we just did with Jack, quarterback run game is going to be non-existent. He is not going to be doing design quarterback, options and stuff like that. What do you think about these numbers? If he had 3,200 passing yards and he had 25 total touchdowns, rushing and passing, but the majority passing, and 8 interceptions, what do you think about those numbers?
That would be amazing numbers.
Those are the numbers that Adrian Martinez had as a freshman when you combine his running and passing, touchdowns, and raw yardage.
Wow.
Yeah. He had 3,250 total, 2,600 passing yards. He had 17 passing touchdowns, 8 rushing touchdowns. So 25 total.
Now, the raw number looks very good, but when we were quoting that number, I'm thinking of, if Dylan Raiola is going to account for 25 touchdowns, 23 of them will be through the air.
It's north of 20, yeah.
At least, because I don't know how much Dylan's, outside of a quarterback sneak now and then, or, maybe, some kind of a surprise draw or a
scramble at the 5-yard line, right? That he turns into a touchdown.
Naked bootleg, something like that. I mean, I don't see him rushing for more than 2 touchdowns this year. In fact, that could be a prop for our 10 questions we do later, right before.
Definitely, absolutely.
So you still have to account for, who else is going to be there. But if those are the kind of numbers we're going to get in a year one, yes,
it'd be pretty. It'd be pretty high.
Please give me that pen. Where's that contract? I want to put my name on it.
But I'm with you. And it seems like both of us are in the same boat, that people will look to not blame him because it's better. It's more fun to blame other people, because if it's him, then it's like, oh crap, is he not the guy? People are going to want him to be the guy so bad, just like they do with coaches, that they will make excuses for him. Absolutely. But also, this is not me making an argument that I think he's going to be a bad quarterback. He's going to have growing pains. This is inarguable. It's just about how many of those will he have? How limited will the turnover number be? How comfortable will they feel with him on obvious passing downs, throwing the ball, or in those like a 3rd and 6 where it's like, this is one of those in-between spots. What do you do? 3rd and 5. What do you do? That's what I am curious to see, is what do they do on those types of spots? And if the playmakers are as, can make plays. If you can actually get them the ball 3 yards short of the sticks and they can pick up a first down on their own.
Yeah, there's a lot of things, and I don't undersell the concern I have with the running game.
John,
say this,
me neither,
because
man.
I do have concern about the running game. They're going to need that because this is going to be, if it's a successful endeavor, this is going to be a balanced offense. We mentioned the other day that, if you look across the landscape of college football, there's not many of the what we would call the power players in this sport who have a wildly, skewed to one angle or the other, pass versus run or run versus pass. Most of them probably all fall within the 60-40 and less category.
Yeah, and remember last week Jed tweeted the numbers at us, and what was Nebraska at 64 rushing?
Mm-hmm.
See, and it says too much, and that they did it that much because
they had to.
They did not trust their quarterback to throw the ball. Also, he also scrambled a lot too when they would drop him back, and he would end up taking off.
Yes, but most teams, all fit within that realm. Some are a little, north of 50 on the run side. Some are north of 50 on the pass side, but the numbers don't go much further than that. That's the the age that we live in.
Mm-hmm.
And so they've got to have it. If you were to tell me that this team's going to be heavily reliant on the passing game, then maybe my optimism will be muted because they'll need to be able to do
well,
both.
because that would tell you, oh my gosh, the run game isn't very good and the defenses aren't going to have to respect the run game, which should also be bad.
Yeah.